What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we got not one but two products here to check out from MecArmy. This one's coming in this nice case, and this other one is a little bit of a smaller box. So let's go ahead and get in here. Of course, I'll have these linked down below if you guys want to check out prices, availability, and variants. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. This one should be pretty interesting. We got a USB-A to USB-C cable there. And then we got this thing. Now, if I understand this right, I think this is a flashlight that you would mount on your watch, right? If I'm not mistaken. Right, got a little bit of a wraparound here. You can mount it to your watch. We'll test it in a moment here with my good old trusty Apple Watch right here. It looks like we have a big old button right there to turn it on. That's a power button. We have a nice little slick USB-C charger right here on the side. All right, we're gonna check to see how we open this guy in a moment because it looks like it's really tucked in there. Okay, after fidgeting with this thing for a minute, right, I'm gonna use my Rivery Zero here to go ahead and use the utility blade to poke at this thing. This was the easiest way I found to be able to get this USB-C rubber door open, if you will. And then we have a nice little projector style LED light on here. Flashlight nerds out there, we have a Cree XPG2S4 LED, in case you were wondering. 300 lumens with a max distance of 31 meters. That seems a little bit much for a small form factor light like this one, but of course we're going to test it outside tonight, just like the other light. Of course, it recharges. It has a rechargeable battery, 55 milliamps lithium polymer battery, and it does recharge via USB-C in about an hour. So that's good to know. Now here are the different modes. If you guys want to pause right there, take a closer look at all these stats. And I think it's just a double click here to turn on. All right, there we go. There's, I think, low mode. We go to medium, we go to high. And then I think we triple press for turbo. 1, 2, 3. I got a little bit brighter. So here we go. Just for reference, this one is 4 lumens right here, the low mode. It's going to make a lot more sense at night, I promise you. We got medium, which is 16 lumens. Then we got high, which is 110 lumens. And then the turbo here is going to be the 300 lumens. And the strobe is also at the 300 lumens as well. One click strobe right there after the turbo mode. And those are the, what if we got 5 different modes on there. So of course, the big thing, I'm going to take my Apple Watch right here. The big thing with this one is the fact that you can, again, I'm trying it with the watch I have on right now, but you probably have a different watch. So very easy to slide the wristband here through the little portion right there. And let's go ahead and put this guy on and see what it looks like. Now, definitely it's going to look quite a bit tactical, not going to lie. It's adding quite a bit of bulk here. Ideally, I would want it maybe on the other side. But see, I got my watch on, and then there we go. I want some light on the go. Pretty decent right there. Pretty good light. Again, not too heavy on the wrist. Not going to make the watch much heavier than it already is. And I want to say comfort-wise, it's actually not that uncomfortable there. I would have to wear it a little bit longer period or what have you. But honestly, again, not bad at all. Ideally, I want it on this other side. So I am determined to put it on the other side here. So here we go. Let's try that. Turn this guy off. I'm going to use the flexibility of the band to make it work. All right, there we go. Now it's on the other side or the outer side. And then again, you still got access to the power button there to go through all the different modes, turbo, strobe. That's the purpose of that one. We'll test it outside and see how it does. Let's check out what this other product here is all about. We have the PS05 ALBK. So let's see. So far, so good. Looking very slim, narrow design. We got a lanyard right here. MecArmy branded lanyard, to be exact. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but there's 2 additional O-rings as well. So that's definitely something I'll be keeping, just in case I need those in the future at some point. That's a nice add. And then we got some paperwork pretty much in the user manual. Please remove the protect sheet at the end of the battery before use, because otherwise you ain't getting no use out of this guy, I'll tell you that. That is breaking the connection between the battery. If you're ready, I'm ready. Here we go. All right, let's take a look. Aluminum construction all the way around. Let's zoom in just a tad bit here. It says MecArmy PS05 on there, and it's all blacked out. Some milling here for grip. Love the sign here at the top. There are your lanyard holes, right? 2 on each side. So you could use either one. We got a rubber button with some diamond pattern on it for extra grip. And then here's the LED housing on there as well. So it looks like this one button back here is going to be doing the trick. But before we can get that to work, let's see, where do we twist? We twist here. Okay, is that coming loose? Yes, it does. All right, so from the head here, this is where the battery is. It looks like positive going forward. We gotta remove that guy. So that was the connection breaker right there. We'll go ahead and slide this guy back in. Typically, I've noticed positive is typically facing forward towards the light. Negative is facing back towards the back end of the light. I've noticed that typically seems to be a good rule of thumbs in most flashlights, but obviously, you know, pay attention so you don't put it in wrong. But let me give it a nice little tie right there. That should make things a little bit more waterproof. Now that we got this guy fully tied up in there, let's see. All right, we're gonna go one click. Okay, you see one click and then one click off. Another click is gonna give me a strobing white. Okay, so it looks like we have perhaps two modes I'm cycling through here. Right, this might be the brightest one, and then off, and then this one looks to be a lower mode, and off, and then the flashing, right, strobing mode. It looks like we have a total of 3 different modes right there. Right, obviously we'll do our outside testing here in just a moment. And this is just a single click button, so it's not like one of those Wuben clickers that has one and a second click. It has like a first stop and then a second stop to the button. It's just a one press on and a one press off. Right, there's no double clicking because you would just turn it on and off right away. So bam, boom. So you would just cycle through the modes depending on which one you need. Right, not bad, very, very intuitive. And again, I knew nothing about this. I haven't even read the manual here, but just kind of going through it, right, as you would, first impressions here. And yeah, not a difficult UI to figure out. All right, here we go for my stats nerds right here. We have, yeah, the low mode is 50 lumens. The high mode is 185 lumens. Beam range is 72 meters. And then there's the waterproofing rating right there, IPX6. Battery life is going to be 132 minutes on low and 26 minutes on high. And you wouldn't want to drop it farther than 1.5 meters, I guess. There's your battery right there. It's going to be a single AA type battery. So that's nice. And I'm not sure if it said anything about it being a rechargeable battery. Now we're going to go ahead and get in here and take a look, because I want to say I don't think that, did I see a charging? No, I didn't see any charging cable on this one, and it's just a typical, it looks like not for retail trade, a single Energizer Max on this one. Again, pretty standard AA battery going on here, and it would not be a rechargeable battery. It looks like a good old alkaline or what have you. So at least you'll be able to use this one, right? The battery will be ready to go. No worries about charging it. Eventually, right, you'll run out of charge and you can just easily swap it for any good old AA that you may have around. Now, I typically prefer rechargeable batteries. You can get a longer life out of them instead of having to swap batteries all the time, depending on how often you use your flashlight or not, especially if it's for EDC carry, right? You probably would think that you'll be using it more often than not. So let's do some size comparisons and then we'll head outside and see what this thing can do here in just a moment. Here's a variety of different EDC flashlights I feature here in the channel. Starting from the right, we got the Fenix E06R, the SW05R-RED, the Wuben G5, and the Wuben X4, right? Content on all these here in the channel. You guys can learn more. You can put the flashlight name in the YouTube search box. You'll find those videos right away. And I'll have them all linked down below if you guys want to check out prices, availability, and variants. On the left-hand side here, we have the LoopGear LoopDot, LoopGear SK03, Wuben T4, and the Wurkkos TD07. Hopefully you guys own some of these, so I'll give you more or less a ballpark where this one lands here size-wise. And you can see the little wristband flashlight here. It's obviously way smaller than that. A little square, if you would. All right, guys, and just like that, we're out here with this tiny little guy. And take a look here for yourself. Let's see. Let's go to a different mode really quick to see where we're at. Oh yeah, it's getting brighter. So this is the lowest mode right here. All right, so you can see there's some bushes over there that we're not getting to, but we can get, you know, quite a few feet in front of us here, right? 50 feet or so. And obviously that's the lowest, so we're gonna go bam. Oh yeah, that definitely changes things. Check that out. And if I sound funny, it's because I have my Invisalign trays on, kind of getting ready to go to bed here, but I'm out here recording this video for you guys because hashtag night test with the flashlight. But yeah, any lisp you hear during the video is my Invisalign trays. The next mode that actually got pretty bright, I'm not gonna lie, right there. We can't quite get to those trees way over there, but this is quite something. We can actually get at the trees up here. Again, holding this thing here. Make sure you guys can see it. And yeah, definitely pretty mighty for the size. I'm fighting a mosquito off here trying to bite my forehead. We can get at that tree over there. That's not bad at all. Again, for the small square size, square body, actually doing pretty good. We go to the lowest mode again. I wonder if there is a turbo from here. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, look at this one. All right, this one is even more powerful for sure. All right, check that out. We definitely got some light now. Yeah, that is turbo right there. All day, every day. We can actually get. This is very impressive, again, for the size. Being the tiny little flashlight that it is, definitely got some juice. Right, you guys be the judge, of course. You guys can see it for yourself, what it is capable of doing. And of course, we got that strobe as well. Make sure you guys don't get epilepsy on me. But guys, I'm actually pretty impressed with this one. Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it to do so well, but that turbo mode definitely makes it come alive, right? You all let me know in the comments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the MecArmy out here tonight, and I have just another flashlight here, a Wuben X4, giving me some ambient light. But as you can see, it's pretty dark out here. So let's go ahead and turn this guy on. Boom. Was this guy at one mode only? Yeah, it's on or flat, or let's try that again, Miguel. On or strobe, pretty much, right? So yeah, that's it. There's not really changing the mode too much. This is how bright and how dim you get it at the same time. So first things first, right? We got this tree right here. That's good. We can get up at the trees right here as well. That is nice. And then again, you know, just a good 200-300 feet in front of us. We can actually get to that tree right there. That's good, right? Light a decent amount of that tree. That's a good, you know, 400 or 500 feet, right? Some of the trees back there and whatnot. Not the trees way in the back, right? Those are still dark back there. And then we have that one tree right there. I can almost get to it, but not quite, right? Can light up some of it, but not quite. Again, for how, you know, small it is, right? Lightweight. It actually does a pretty decent job, you know, for like EDC use. Unless you need something that obviously has way more juice, then you might have to get something else. But very straightforward, easy to use flashlight. 2 simple modes, and it's got some decent reach for what it is. So you guys be the judge there, right? This is a very scientific backyard test, as you can see. Let me know your thoughts on this one, and now back to the video. Well, there you guys have it. That is the PS05 flashlight here from MecArmy. Let me know your thoughts on this one. What do you all like about it? What do you all love about it? Is there anything you dislike about it? Let me know. I will tell you, for one thing, there are people out there who do love a very straightforward UI. Sometimes I feature other flashlights in the channel that has some cool features, like for example, the LoopGear LoopDot. And this one's pretty cool and it has a lot going for it. But some people have said, oh, you know, it's too many features. It's, you know, perhaps too complicated for me. And I absolutely get that to a certain extent, right? Now, me, I don't know if it's the guy inside of me, but I'm more of a, you know, let me get the most amount of features, right? The most bang, if you would, for the buck, right? The more features the product has, the better. Because, you know, I'm getting more value for the same amount of money. Other people are just very simple, minimalistic, straightforward mentality, which is also okay, right? They want the thing to have one function and one function only. They want it to work the way they expect it to work. And that's that, right? So this one obviously scratches that itch. Very straightforward. No RGB here, no laser, no UV, right? It's just straightforward, an LED flashlight. And it does that with 2 modes and a strobe mode, right? So it's pretty much as bare bones basic as it can possibly get. And again, this one and every other product flashlight you saw in this video will be linked in the description and pinned comments. If you guys are interested, it does help out the channel when you use those links. That's entirely up to you and at 0 extra cost. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.